Stop writing complex SharePoint logic and start prompting it instead. What if building expressions or CAML query felt more like chatting than coding? Today, I'll show you how the new AI assistant in Skybow Studio is changing how SharePoint solutions are built. Not by replacing builders, but by empowering them. If you worked with SharePoint for a while, you know this. Expressions and CAML queries can be incredibly powerful, but they can also be very time-consuming, hard to write, and even harder to debug. What are they actually used for? Expressions control logic in your solutions. Visibility, validations, calculations, dynamic UI behavior. CAML queries retrieve data from SharePoint, filtering lists, querying related data, creating dynamic views. Both are essential for powerful SharePoint solutions. With the new AI assistant in Skybow Studio, you don't have to fight the complex syntax of expression language and CAML queries anymore. Open the AI chat, simply prompt what you need, and the AI generates the logic, which is instantly ready to use. I could tell you a lot more about it in theory, but that's boring. So let's let the AI assistant speak for itself. I'm going to show you a few examples. For that, I'm going to use the Skybow Contract Manager, which is, by the way, also available as a ready-to-use download on our website. The Skybow Contract Manager SharePoint solution is used to manage contracts a company has with other parties. So, for example, software licenses, advertising contracts, or leasing agreements, and so on. Just so you have some context for the upcoming use cases. Let's start with a data layer. A common requirement could be something like this. We want to find all contracts that are currently active and need a reminder email to be sent today. If you've worked with CAML before, you know this isn't trivial. You need the right structure, nested conditions, correct field references. And even small syntax issues can break the entire query. But instead of constructing this step by step, I simply prompt what I need, and the AI assistant generates the full CAML query for me, correctly structured and ready to use. So now we have the right data, but retrieving data is only the first step. Next, we need to define how the solution behaves based on that data. This is where expressions come in and where things can quickly become very complex. So let's say a user is working with a contract. We only want to show certain action buttons when it makes sense to not confuse the end user. For example, a button should only be visible if the contract is active and if the current user has permission to edit it. Instead of manually combining conditions and permission checks, I just prompt the rule, and the AI turns it into a working expression instantly. Great solutions don't stop at UI logic. We also have to enforce rules behind the scenes. For example, preventing duplicate contracts. We want to make sure that there isn't already a contract with the same type linked to the same account. This is where things usually get complicated. Cross-list checks, filtering logic, validations. But again, instead of figuring out how to build it, I just prompt the requirement and use it. And then there are the small details that make a solution feel polished. For example, giving users better context. Let's say we have a tab showing replaced contracts. Wouldn't it be helpful if the tab name already shows how many items are inside? This is the kind of logic that often gets skipped, not because it's not valuable, but because it takes time to implement it. But not anymore with a Skybow AI assistant. So now we have the data behavior and better user experience. But there is still one thing missing. For a contract manager SharePoint solution, the next step is communication. For example, sending an email based on contract data. Instead of manually building HTML, inserting dynamic values, formatting everything correctly, I just describe the outcome. And the AI assistant generates a structured, ready-to-use email body for my contract management SharePoint solution. So if you take a look at the full picture, we started with querying the right data, then defined how the solution should behave, ensured data integrity, improved the user experience, and finally triggered meaningful communication. And all that by simply prompting what we need. This is what makes the AI assistant so powerful. It doesn't just help you with isolated tasks. It supports you through the entire process of building a new SharePoint solution. Building new logic is only part of the story. A lot of your time you're dealing with existing solutions. Maybe you inherit a project, maybe a colleague built something, or maybe it's your own logic from 6 months ago. And suddenly you're sitting in front of complex expressions or CAML queries and you're asking yourself, what exactly is this doing? Traditionally, this means reading through the logic line by line, trying to mentally reconstruct what's happening and hoping you don't miss any hidden conditions. But now, instead of reverse engineering, you can simply use the explain feature of the AI assistant. It translates the logic into clear, natural language. This is incredibly powerful, especially for onboarding, debugging, and collaboration. Once you understand your logic, the next question is, can we make it better? Not every CAML query or expression is perfect. Over time, logic grows, gets extended, sometimes even a bit messy. And that can impact readability, maintainability, and performance. But instead of manually refactoring everything, you can use the optimize feature. The AI assistant analyzes your existing logic and creates a cleaner, more efficient version without changing the outcome. So you're not just building faster, you're continuously improving the quality of your SharePoint solution. When you take a step back, what you've just seen isn't a collection of features. It's a shift in how you build SharePoint solutions, all by just prompting what you want. And that's exactly where the Skybow Studio is heading. It's evolving from a traditional low-code platform to an AI builder for SharePoint solutions. But this isn't about replacing you as a SharePoint builder. It's about empowering you to move faster, to reduce errors, to focus on what matters most, the logic behind your business solutions. Curious about how this could look in your own SharePoint solutions? Just book a free call and see the AI assistant live. The link is in the description below. Thanks for watching the video. See you in the next one. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to learn more about how to build smart SharePoint solutions.